Hi, my name is Kareen, and this is what I look like. I had a concussion this year, so if you feel like you've seen me sporadically, it's because you have. Um, and this is my final project presentation. I am a ceramicist, and so I spend a lot of time in the ceramic studio. And near the end of high school, I started trying to create visual representations of my hair and my identity in clay because I felt like not only did I very, very rarely, if ever, see people who looked like me or people who were African American making ceramics, I rarely saw representations of my hair in clay form and in sculptures. And so I started trying to do that, but unfortunately it got cut off by COVID. And so when I came here and finally got access to the studio, that was one of the first things that I dove back into doing. And last year, I created this sculpture that took, honestly, it took forever. I'm all for representation. Curly hair is so much longer. It takes so much longer to make than straight hair, but it's definitely worth it to visually see yourself represented. But I did made this sculpture, and oddly enough, making this sculpture inspired me to take this class rather than the other way around. But I hope that one of the things I would get out of taking this class and out of learning more about Black visual culture and what it means to produce Black art and to critique Black art and to think consciously about the curation and curation of Black art is also that I would finish this sculpture. And my biggest issue when finishing this was the question of what color do I make this sculpture? Because clay is on its own kind of a very light brown, at least this clay fires to a sort of light tan brown, but I didn't feel like that would feel representative of what I wanted it to be. And I wanted it to be clear when you looked at this sculpture that it was meant to represent a person of color, meant to represent a Black person, not just someone with curly hair, not just anybody. I wanted to be able to see myself in this sculpture. And the thing that I took away most from this course and incorporated the most into this final project is the knowledge that no matter how hard you try to make Black art that's understandable by a white audience, white audiences are always going to have a complicated relationship with properly understanding the intention and the purpose of Black art. And so essentially, I realized it's kind of dumb to care, and that by intentionally not glazing this piece and not having to decide, okay, this is what a Black woman looks like to me, but seen through the eyes of my largely white peers who would be viewing the sculpture, I realized I'm Black and I'm making art. So